As far as I can remember, the coolest characters that I always wanted to be like were introverted. Almost had like an anti-hero type feel to it. And even some anti-heroes, right, had this dark side to them. There's solemnness to them. Now, you probably clicked on this video because I'm sure you're a guy that likes to keep to himself. He's not really a part of the crowd, but he doesn't really have a place or group to call his own, the lone wolf. So I'm here to help you. Not only one, tell you things that I admire about introverted people, and two, help you maximize your full potential. The first thing that you need to understand is that it's not your introvertedness that works against you. It's not holding you back. It's the fact that you're shy and you're not doing anything about it, right? It's the whole thing of the coward versus the hero. They both feel the same thing, but it's what you do regardless of how you feel that changes your identity. Everybody feels shy, even the extroverted person. Here's something that you need to consider. You have to develop dark confidence. Now, before you get the wrong idea, I want to say that the difference between confidence and arrogance is that confidence is the faith in your ability to perform and do what needs to be done, and arrogance is all but a delusion. So how do you develop this dark confidence? What even is it? Number one, don't say it, show it. What's understood don't gotta be said. Your actions should be able to prove it without you having to explain anything. And if they don't get it, then that's their problem. You're not here to convince anybody, to speak with anybody. The only person you gotta convince is yourself. Number two is take self-development to the max. Even as an extrovert myself, before I would find myself in situations where I'd be too nice, or I'd let people slide with certain things that I shouldn't have let slide, right? And this could go with anybody, introvert, extrovert, doesn't matter. But so with that dark confidence, you can't have dark confidence if you're letting people treat you however you want, walk all over you. Even yourself, you're letting stuff slide with yourself. You start taking care of yourself and showing yourself love. The more you self-improve yourself, you're not gonna let whatever you love, whatever you're taking care of, get treated any type of way, right? The less BS you're gonna tolerate from people, because that improvement that you put in, the work that you're putting in on yourself, the care that you're putting into yourself is gonna demand respect. And it also falls into the fact of, if you're taking care of yourself and let's say you're in shape, you have a good aesthetic body figure, you don't even have to have the full potential unlocked there, but it's starting to get noticeable. People respect that a lot more because it shows discipline. It shows that you're going through difficult trials and you're succeeding. Subconsciously, they respect you automatically off of that because you take yourself seriously, as opposed to 80-90% of people. Number three is make sure every move is calculated. Never allow yourself to act in such a hastily manner, always in a rush, always on edge. A true powerful extrovert with dark confidence is cool, calm, and collected regardless of the situation. Always looking for a chance to take the advantage. And we can see this with a lot of real life and fictional characters. We can see this in shows that, in movies that are trending, like Peaky Blinders with Thomas Shelby and John Wick, right? And although they might be fictional characters and you're like, what are you talking about? The psychology and the knowledge behind the body language is very much real, and it's something that you can use yourself. Number four, the most important one, and this is for anybody, extrovert and introvert, to have, is stoicism. Having stoicism is overall, hands down, a very good trait to have. It takes yourself outside yourself, if that makes sense. Not only that, but it's also an attractive trait to women because it projects confidence. Because regardless of the outcome, you will always have a solution. There's a security in that. Regardless of whatever happened, you remained unfazed because you will get whatever needs to be done. This trait of having confidence and stoicism, even in tough times, remaining strong, having that composure, is a very dangerous skill to have because it is seen as intimidating, as well as you become hard to read. You have almost a unpredictable, mysterious essence to yourself, especially when it comes to your enemies and to anybody that is against you, trying to exploit you or whatever it is. But to achieve this, you must learn to master your feelings and emotions. To be stoic, to have the stoicism, you need to have discipline, confidence, and resilience. Number five is improve your speech. Get rid of any shy, partial, subtle speech. Remove indirects from your vocabulary. No more of this passive aggressive stuff if that's the type of things that you do. Your words should be cut and clear like a sword. Practice articulation and only speak when you have something truly worth saying. Command respect with your voice by not being so soft-spoken. Speak slowly and smoothly. And another thing I will say is that there is a time and place to be soft-spoken because it has worked for me, and I've read it in the book Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. 50 Cent, he made that book, and he said that he was in I forgot who the actor was. He was with an actor and they were all having dinner, right? And so he noticed that the actor was speaking so soft-spoken. People could barely hear it because it was a loud place. So people had to be like, what? And listen in. So later on, it's just him and that one actor. And 50 Cent was like, hey, I noticed that. And the guy said, oh, you're very perceptive. The reason why I do that is because they're more inclined to listen if they can't hear me, because I'm soft-spoken. They'll actually listen instead of me having to shout over everybody and compete for the sound. No, now you gotta tune into me. because you can't really hear me. So now you're actually listening with intention. Now I'm forcing you to listen with intention. You see? So there's a time and place to be soft-spoken, but generally speaking, speak with your chest. Relax your voice and have a deeper tone. I'm not saying force it and sound like an old man, like, hey guys, like trying to, we used to do that when we was young. Don't do that. But just always stay relaxed. Your voice, your speech, and your body language are very big parts of how people initially perceive you. So you always got to stop and think, like, what would my best self do in this situation? How would he act? What would he say? What would he sound like? Even if you have goals, and I think I mentioned this in one of my videos before, you got to become that person. Like, let's say you want a Lamborghini. Okay, act like you have a Lamborghini right now. How would that change how you're sitting in this chair? How would that change how you're speaking to me? You see what I'm saying? So you got to imagine that in that situation of, okay, how would I sound? How would I act? You don't gotta overthink it too much, but you know how your best self is. Only you know. You have that image. So you gotta emulate it and become that. Even in the Art of War, it says, let your plans be dark and impenetrable as the night. And when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Not only can this be applied to battle, but how you conduct yourself, how you act, how you calculate. It's just an important quote to keep in mind. Body language. This is one of the very most important things, especially as an introvert, because us as humans, we communicate through body language, right? There's a statistic of a lot of how we communicate, percentage, I don't know what exactly it is, but a lot of it is non-verbal because it's in body language, how we carry ourselves. Maybe our tonality, the things we say, but how we sit, facial expressions, things like that. And so I really need you to pay attention for this one, especially as an introvert. You're not going to be saying much, but when you do, make sure that what is said holds a weight to it. And since you're not going to be saying much, it's really important to be mindful of your body language because, like I said, that's a big portion of how us humans communicate and perceive each other is through this body language, facial expressions, movements, how we sit, how we stand. Learn to hold eye contact in conversations and walking past people. I'm not saying you got to stare people down and have a stare down, but it's completely normal to have eye contact. And I think as young men now, we kind of avoid this. And I notice this when I'm talking with people and I'm looking into their eyes. Like, you don't do that. And they're like, no, I get shy or whatever. I look down. Learn to have eye contact. Don't shy away from holding eye contact during a conversation or even if you're passing by and, you guys make eye contact. One, it shows confidence, and two, it's completely normal to do. And I feel like this is something that we lack, especially in my generation, like us being young. We have the anxiety, we have like these mental barriers, these self-beliefs or these limiting beliefs that kind of hold us back, even in the smallest ways of holding eye contact. And I'm not saying be a weirdo and like start staring people down and stuff like that. You should be able to assess the situation of how much eye contact you needed. Whether if it's in battle and you do gotta stare them down, and you could tell when you feel defeated when you're like, you look down and you're like shy. Or maybe it's like attraction being built up. I'm gonna trust that you're smart enough to not make the wrong decision. Damn, I'm over here talking about posture and I'm fucking all slouched. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Not playing. A dark, confident introvert always has good, calm posture, like they own the place. Wide and expansive poses with calm movement is always seen as confident and dominant because, like I said before, how you hold your posture, how you move, how you talk, the expressions that you make will say way more about what words ever do. Another point I want to make is, as an introvert, you don't speak much, you won't say much. Oh, and if you do, have some weight on it, right? As well as always keep your word. And honestly, this is something, doesn't matter what introvert, extrovert, alien, you should always be able to keep your word as a man. You're the silent assassin, so you don't have much to say. But when you do, always make sure that you have a sharp tongue and that you keep to your promises. Because like I said in previous videos, your word is like your bond. And if you're just casually, because like I said in previous videos, your word is like your bond. And if you're just casually throwing it around, eventually becomes worthless. And last but not least, always take care of your appearance. Looks maxing, going to the gym, facial routine, whatever it is, and have a style specific to you. Develop a style of clothing. I'm not saying you gotta buy the most expensive thing, wear a suit, but find the style that works for you. Don't just come out here looking like you just rolled out of bed. I remember I was talking with this guy that he said, that's why I always come out here looking like good, because you just never know who you're gonna come across. You never know who you're gonna meet. You could come across a rapper tomorrow, a famous person, somebody that could help your situation, or you can network with somebody, and nobody's gonna want to network with you if you're out here looking like a bum, looking like you just got out of bed. And like I said before, how you treat yourself, how you take care of yourself is the type of respect that you're gonna command when it comes to other people and from yourself. You're gonna hold yourself to a higher standard, so you're gonna want people to treat you as such, because to want to hold yourself to a higher standard and not perform and then expect people to hold you to that same standard that's high is delusion. So you want to take care of your belongings, you want to take care of your stuff, you want to take care of yourself. And remember that if you want to get out of that introverted bubble or like you don't really belong, you don't have much friends, you're the lone wolf, networking is important. So I suggest you look back on one of my older videos on social skills, or even better, you can read the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Make Friends and Influence People. And honestly, a lot of the times, just one quick little thought before I end this and conclude, you don't want it to make friends with anybody. You don't want to just network with anybody, especially if you're taking care of yourself and you're putting yourself in that higher standard. You don't want to be with lower standard people. And I know it's kind of, one, it's hard because I'm sure you have like friends that are in that lower standard and you're trying to go up, and then you're an introvert. So it's like you're probably in a lonely stage right now in your life. Even me as an extroverted, I'm kind of in this lonely stage right now. But networking, talking with people, being open to talking, you don't got to be shy. Shyness is not an introverted personality. Remember, it's what you do regardless of how you feel. And so, anyways, the point I was making before I conclude, because I'm about to end this right after I say this, don't network with anybody. Don't just talk with anybody. Sure, you can have quick conversations, but if you want to have friends and network and make moves, you want to have a team, the warrior class, right? Find people in the communities in which make you better. Find people that are better than you in certain situations. If you want to be a YouTuber, find other smaller YouTubers that maybe have a higher up on you. Videography, whatever it is, business, or maybe some dudes in the gym you just befriended. There was some calisthenics dude I've met. I just walked up to them and started chatting with them. Hey, where do I start? You got any recommendations? You're pretty good, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that hard, but it is hard at the same time, you know? So anyways, I'm talking too much. My love. That's the dark side of an introvert and the dark advantages that you can take advantage of. My love. Peace.